Imagine working 12 hours straight, your stomach screaming for food, only to find your lunch stolen again. Day after day. Well, one thief in my factory thought he could get away with it, until one bite turned into the worst mistake of his life. If you've ever dreamed of serving justice to someone who wronged you, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because today, you're about to hear one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever come across. I want you to picture this. 3 years ago, I was working in a massive factory. The kind of place where you can't keep track of faces, because people are constantly hired and fired through different temp agencies. It was like a revolving door. Every day, new people in, old people out. It didn't take long before I realized one ugly truth: you couldn't really trust anyone there. Still, I kept my head down. Did my job. Ate my packed lunch like everyone else. At least, that's what I thought I'd be able to do, until the Lunch Box Bandit showed up. It started small. One day, I opened the break room fridge after a 12-hour shift. I was exhausted, sweating through my uniform, and all I wanted was the steak fajitas I had packed the night before. But when I opened the fridge, the container was gone. At first, I thought maybe I misplaced it. Or maybe someone moved it to a different shelf. But no, after digging through every bag and container, I knew. Someone had stolen my food. That night, I went home hungry. Not just physically, but emotionally. The betrayal stung. But here's the thing, it didn't happen just once. The very next day, my sandwich disappeared. Then the next day, my pasta was gone. Then my fried chicken. Day after day, I opened that fridge hoping for relief, and every time my stomach dropped. 6 days straight. 6 12-hour shifts. 6 empty lunches. You want to know what it feels like? Imagine working your body to the bone, your stomach eating itself alive, and realizing some faceless coward is laughing at your expense. My anger started simmering. Every bite they stole from me, I promised myself, one day, I'm gonna make them regret this. The hardest part? I didn't even know who it was. With so many temps in and out, anyone could have been the thief. That's what made it worse, looking around the break room, wondering which of those smiling faces was secretly mocking me. I thought about leaving notes. I thought about going to management. But deep down, I knew neither would work. No, this thief needed something stronger. Something unforgettable. By the 6th stolen lunch, I snapped. I went home that night, sat in my kitchen, and stared at my fridge. I wasn't just tired. I wasn't just hungry. I was furious. And then it hit me. A memory of the Carolina Reaper peppers I had sitting in my pantry, the hottest peppers in the world. I smiled. For the first time all week, I felt hope. I spent the entire evening crafting what might have been the most delicious-looking lunch I had ever made. Steak fajitas, juicy, tender, perfectly seasoned. I made fresh pico de gallo, chopped onions, cilantro, tomatoes, and then, carefully, I minced the Carolina Reapers. The fumes alone burned my eyes. My hands tingled from the capsaicin. I wore gloves, but it didn't matter, the heat seeped through. That's how powerful these peppers were. I mixed them into the salsa, making sure they were blended just enough to look harmless. Then I assembled my fajitas, topped them off with the devil's pico, garnished with limes, and sealed everything in a clear Tupperware lid. It was a trap disguised as perfection. The next morning, I walked into the factory like nothing was different. My heart pounded as I placed my lunch in the fridge, front and center. Then, I waited. An hour into my shift, I heard it. A piercing scream from the break room. Help! Somebody help her! I ran in with everyone else, pretending to be just another concerned bystander. And there she was, the infamous Lunch Box Bandit. A woman I'd seen around but never spoken to, now rolling on the floor, gasping for air. Her face was red, her eyes watered uncontrollably, and she clutched her throat like it was closing shut. The Carolina Reapers had done their job too well. The spice triggered an asthma attack. They rushed her to the hospital. The whole factory buzzed with shock. But you know what? Nobody ever connected it back to me. Nobody asked who the fajitas belonged to. And she never said a word. Maybe she was too embarrassed. Maybe she didn't want to admit she'd been stealing. Or maybe, deep down, she knew she got exactly what she deserved. Either way, the theft stopped. From that day forward, not a single one of my lunches went missing again. I can't describe the satisfaction I felt walking into that break room the next day and finding my lunch exactly where I left it. After a week of hunger and frustration, justice had finally been served, spicy, fiery justice. Every bite of those fajitas tasted better than any meal I'd ever eaten, because it wasn't just food. It was victory. Sometimes, karma doesn't need years to arrive. Sometimes, it just needs the right recipe, and a little extra heat. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button, and tell us in the comments what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that prove karma always finds a way.